you?
Hi, I'm good. How
Good.
are you?
Have you met Agnes before?
I don't think so.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? We just went live on Facebook. I haven't quite recorded yet, but go ahead and introduce yourself and then we'll go ahead and have Agnes get started.
Yeah, hi. So, remember that class that we all took in school that taught us how to have great relationships and date and love ourselves? Yeah, we didn't have that. So, that's what I do now. I teach mostly women, but some select men about love and relationships and starting with the most important love relationship with yourself.
The
And
thing
I
that cracks me up the most about that, Whitney, is someone's going to say, yeah, I remember that class that we took. And you're going to be
yeah.
like, it didn't exist. There was no class,
Yeah,
right? So,
maybe I was out that day.
yeah. Yeah, only thing I remember was like home ec, right? And balancing a checkbook. That was about as far as it got for anything for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So it's great to have you here, Whitney. You know Lynette, I think you've met her at our lunch and learns before. She's dialing in from Kenya, Africa. And then Agnes and I met each other actually probably 3 years ago, I think it was, in a group that I became part of. We became good friends. Agnes has been part of the community now for a couple of years. She's presented into the community several times, has been spotlighted, on podcasts and several things. I know that she also coordinates and works with Katrina Sawa. So we all work together. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to go ahead and hit record and let Agnes go ahead and start her presentation. Today's all about kickstarting procrastination, and by kickstarting your brain, like getting rid of it by kickstarting your brain. So I love it when I can learn something new because we all know why we procrastinate. So let's just say that we think we know why we procrastinate. So Agnes is going to teach us maybe something that we didn't know why we procrastinate today. So go ahead and take it away, Agnes.
Thank you so much, Colleen. It's really great to be here and to share with your amazing audience about ending procrastination now by kickstarting your brain. This is my perspective, and there are probably many, but I just want to give you a few juicy ways to see how you can transform whatever it is might be holding you back. So procrastination can be defined as putting our dreams on hold. It is putting things off intentionally or habitually. So what are you hold? Maybe you can put in the chat or make a mental note of something that you're holding off on. And the most important question is, what kind of support do you need to move forward? I'm going to just share my screen like right now, just to liven it up a little bit. Great. I think to procrastinate is as normal as being human. And we all do it to some extent. I do myself. And the question is, what is it costing us? So just think a minute about what it might be costing us. We lose track of our vision, our intentions. We get mired down in a sea of distractions. Many might be in a state of morass or anxiety, depression, or even loneliness, which I talk about at times. Yes, we do not focus on our intentions. When we don't do that, we create unhappiness, less money. So is money flowing out or flowing in? And I mean, it could be other things as well, strained relationships, less connection to our imagination and ourselves, and even poor health. So, yes. Procrastination can also be defined as instead of working on important, meaningful tasks. We spend lots of times on trivial activities, maybe watching TV, playing video games, spending time on Facebook, pacing around, cleaning all the time. That's not me. But procrastination is not laziness. Procrastination is wanting to do something, but not getting the energy and motivation to do it. Whereas relaxation means that it's good for you because you're recharging your batteries with energy. And procrastination drains your energy. So today we live in a world of many opportunities, more than have been available at any other time. And these opportunities mean more decisions are possible, more choices.
I like that last slide because you talk about relaxation. And I just want to ask the other women here, like, how many hours of sleep do you get a night?
Good question.
And does that matter to you?
Good question. Yes.
Because now I like push to get 8 hours, but 7 at a minimum. And I usually never get over that. But I just remember back in my corporate days, my watch would say average, I was like 4 to 5 hours. And I always thought that was like a go-getter, right? You don't sleep, you work. And I'm way more effective now.
Yes, that's very true. And you can have all kinds of issues because of not getting enough sleep. Absolutely. Yeah. So, we may find it harder to make a decision, and we may just postpone the decision. We call it decision paralysis. There's me, my hubby. So there is a book called Think and Grow Rich. Have you read it? Anyone? Raise your hand. Yes. There is a special chapter there on decision. It's important. So my story, I'll be sort of brief. I love my life. I am a former nurse practitioner. Let me stop this a minute. And I am a certified theta healer, emotional healer, life mastery, institute coach, higher brain living facilitator. But it hasn't always been happiness unlimited for me. Just before my 8th birthday, I was sent to an orphanage to live with my 2 siblings. My lonely life became lonelier, and in spite of being surrounded by many children, I felt little desire to play or connect. And these children were often in emotional turmoil, and I didn't understand that. But I found solace in a special way with a library of books. So at first it was fairy tales that I connected to. And I loved the adventure that opened up for me, and it kept opening up. I mean, I advanced to stories of Nancy Drew, Sherry Ames, nurse. I'm dating myself, but that's fine. It was whatever was available at the time. So in my 40s, one day I just had the realization, or I was, I guess, in a down mood. I have no friends, and relationship seemed like something just happened. So I was married. I had 2 children. I had no health or other real issues. Why was I not feeling connected to my life and others? And it actually took me quite a few more years to realize why my life was off track. I call it going through the motions and busyness and unawareness of creating intentions for myself. And I would go through the busyness of life, caring for my husband, children, working a job, cooking, cleaning, outings. One day I woke up from the sleepwalk when a visiting stranger was the occasion for me to examine what I really wanted in life. And it was painful at first. I cried. I was determined. Also, I said that love was the only thing that mattered. And a friend recommended a book, Power versus Force, which helped me to feel that deep joy and connection were possible. And the changes did not happen overnight, but gradually over the next 2 years. And what changed was me. I so wanted to feel that connection to myself. I asked for it in meditation. I released my emotional baggage, my beliefs about who I am and what is possible. And I learned and received healing modalities that changed my life. And I began to live my life with more purpose and passion, and I attracted some amazing relationships. My relationship with myself changed, most important. And joy and gratitude in every aspect of my life. And that is why I love to support others and connecting to your inner power to have more joy, connection to what life offers. So let's get started by sharing some tools and strategies for creating habits that will propel us forward. I think continuing to grow and is to create for ourselves the key to happiness and leaves procrastination by the wayside. So let me share again. So the first tool to override procrastination is motivation. And the most valuable commodity we own, money, it is time. Money can be borrowed and saved and earned more of, but time cannot be borrowed or saved. We all have the same amount of time, no matter who we are, rich or poor. And time is here now, and you use it or spend it, either wisely or not. Steve Jobs said that he was by knowing he was going to die. All his fears, pride, and embarrassments all fell away when he realized and remembered this. The right kind of motivation can take you far. We'll start with intrinsic motivation, which is limiting and doing something because you feel you have to do it. Like these are some food, food is a necessity. We have to, have money for that. So extrinsic, you see no purpose in your activity. It's developed in you by others as rewards and punishments to force people to do things they normally would not, such as earning a paycheck, a need for insurance, a need to make a mortgage, to be accepted in certain groups. These people are less happy and has less creativity and less ability to learn. The second type of motivation I call intrinsic motivation. It's goal-based and results in joy, but that joy can and sometimes often dissipates. Motivation can improve productivity, but does not lead to long-term happiness. In this process, you imagine your future and visualize what doesn't really exist yet. Maybe you dream of a brand new shiny red car, a fantastic spouse, a fabulous vacation. Here's a beautiful beach. Visualization can backfire because your brain and feelings realize that you do not have these goals yet. The person is not happy in the present necessarily. Or let's say that you buy that shiny red car and achieve that promotion at work or inherit $1 million. We feel a lot of joy, happiness then. How long does this last is the question. Once the person has accomplished a goal, we get accustomed or habituated to having the car, the spouse, the money, and some of the high positive feelings actually dissipate. You tend to take that spouse for granted. Studies have been done on how much money influences happiness. And they found that money influences happiness only to the point that you provide for your basic needs and your family's needs. Beyond this, money does not buy more happiness. So, what is the answer to intrinsic motivation that dissipates? The answer is called intrinsic journey-based motivation. This motivation helps keep you happier in the moment. This means that you have a personal vision of something you are becoming every day. It focuses on actions, on your journey, not goals. It focuses on the journey and not the destination. You set up milestones that assure you are headed in the right direction and that you get feedback. The journey is a day-to-day process and not just one goal. Your skills and creativity are constantly improving. There's a positive feedback loop, creating a state of flow, and time stops for you. You feel long-term happiness. First, feel the happiness, and then you will get your goals or results. Albert Schweitzer said, success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. And if you love what you are doing, you will be successful. So, tool number 2. 1 is motivation. 2 is what I call discipline. It is the core of self-regulation, the ability to overcome negative emotions. Discipline helps overcome decision paralysis. You step up out of your comfort zone. The subconscious mind, our reptilian brain, is greatly influenced by emotion and not by our rational reasoning higher brain right here. Our emotions are not listening to our higher reasons. So how do you overcome negative emotions that slow you down or might even paralyze you? I would say build your cognitive resources that up your energy instead of drain it. Build small habits. Here's someone tying the shoe. Maybe you're a runner. What little step can you do? Just put on your shoes, right? Or put them by the door. So you have them ready. Have your shoes ready. Have them tied. You can build small habits that set the bar as low as possible. Teach your elephant or emotional self that you can accomplish something through simple, small steps with constant repetition. Keep repeating until it becomes an automatic activity for your elephant or emotional self. So an example is me during, the lockdown a few years ago. It was cold March time of year, and I wasn't doing much active exercise at the time. I shut down. So what can I do? Well, my friend suggested the nitric oxide dump, and I had heard about it. And I just started doing it every single day, twice a day. It just takes 7 minutes. Takes me 6 to 7 minutes every morning and every evening. And I've carried that habit on and through the years. So it's 3 years almost now and running. So maybe you can a personal experience of how you developed a new habit and you kept it simple, or quit a bad habit too. Here's smoking, but there's all kinds of habits that maybe we want to have awareness of, that we want to set the bar low and set little steps maybe to, make ourselves. So there's baby steps. So tool number 3 is avoid limiting beliefs that hold you back. We all hold subconscious beliefs about who we are and what is possible for us. Are we listening to ourselves every day? What are our thoughts and self-talk about? Awareness is an important part of healing. I'm just gonna stop this a minute. So let's see. There it is. I'm not used to doing slides. Okay. So awareness is an important part, and it's important. Subconscious mind controls 88% of your conscious mind, and it's always there in the background. We are not aware of it usually unless we hear that little self-talk in the back of our head. So they're subconscious and they limit us by helping to keep us the same and feel protected, but they often making changes to our lives that would empower us. So how would you know if you have a limiting belief? Well, I say, guess what? We all have them. And most of these beliefs are programmed from our parents and ancestors way back when. And I find them easily through muscle testing. And I also find they're easy to release once we become aware of them, and the subconscious can bring them to awareness. That's a skill that you can develop. So I'll share an example of someone I know. Her name's Therese. She was a client. She was divorced with feelings of overwhelm, overwork. And she said to me from that point of the subconscious, I think men are just jerks. And maybe all good men are. If there's a relationship coach, some people don't verbalize these, but actually she did verbalize this to me. So I know, sometimes that subconscious mind will bring things up. She found new love and the relationship was terminated suddenly, and she spiraled into a deep depression and even contemplated suicide. But she found some ways to heal, and that's how we met at a hypnosis conference. So why are limiting beliefs important? They are a form of disconnect from the self that influences relationships, meaningful work in all areas of your life. And past subconscious programs run your present circumstances. Like I said, they're 88% there running you in the background. And they keep us from living in the present moment and using our creativity. They repeat and can cause feelings of unworthiness, pain, etc. So most people hear that they need to, change a belief or release, either tune it out or reject it outright. But this is their conscious mind talking. And they stay there unless they are open to something new. A person's results are reflections of what she is thinking or focusing on. And how will you know if you are thinking empowering thoughts? I think the answer is your feelings. How are you feeling in the present? I mean, I'm not saying that you're Pollyanna happy person all the time. No, but that you can override those feelings with your conscious mind. So I recommend the support of a healer or coach who can guide a person to release some of this limiting subconscious beliefs. And one theta healing you can, which is similar to hypnosis, but I love theta healing because we discover core limiting beliefs. It could be about love or money, about body image, every aspect of life. And once these core beliefs are released, a lot of minor beliefs can also topple down like dominoes. It's really great to expand your options, your potential, your creativity this way. There's one book that I read, Atomic Habits by James Cleary. Anyone hear of that book? I'm sure, yes. You can
Well, it was in our book club, so I know they have read it.
Yes, I know. Let me share the screen again. Let's see. So, yeah, it's about taking baby steps. And, like I said, if you quit smoking or you've changed something, what little baby steps or what steps did you do to change that? Because that might guide you in the future. So the baby, there's a story of, I think mostly in India, how they stake the baby elephant, chain it to the ground to a small stake. Well, the baby elephant isn't strong enough and he gives up after a while, pulling on that stake to get free. What the elephant grows up and becomes this huge elephant, but in addition to that stake holding him back. So even though he could probably pull it out, he doesn't even try. So this is how past conditioning can hold us back too. So we often don't realize that we have this past conditioning. So an example of the baby elephant syndrome might be that you tend to blame other people and circumstance growing wrong in your life. You might think it's your boss's fault that you're having trouble at work or that you lost your job. It might be the economy's fault. The most significant problem with this mindset is that it prevents you from taking responsibility for what happened to you. And it puts the blame on others. Accepting responsibility and becoming aware of your power and potential is a huge step in the right direction. So you can release these negative thinking patterns. I just want to share about why people were silent while Hitler was imprisoning and exterminating Jews way back. They let the new normal blind them to their power to stand up for someone. They were isolated and silenced, even jailed. So one of my favorite new quotes is from Albert Einstein. He says, "Blind obedience to authority is the greatest enemy of truth." So I just want to share some, go back. simple positive things that you might do every day to help you start your day with a lot of energy. So every morning, say 3 positive things about yourself and how you would like your day to go. So some things I say or might say are, I greet this day with love in my heart. I am vibrating and exuding joy and unconditional love. I celebrate my unique gifts to empower others to expand in love. So these are some things that I actually do say. So tips for your to-do list. Oh, by the way, I would also encourage you to write down 3 things in the evening about how your day went that was powerful, what you're celebrating about that. Because you don't want to focus on the negative. There is surely something that you learned, even if it was just a learning, that you can celebrate. So for your to-do list, take a piece of paper or your calendar, write down the tasks that you want to do that day. And give each task a clear and pleasant name. You can break big tasks into smaller tasks and group small tasks into bigger ones. This is number 4. I'm not there yet, but I've tried it at times. I do color code certain things, color code the priorities or certain things of your tasks to do, the certain colors mean more. Make a path, number 5, connect in the order you want to do them. And this is really, number 6 is set a time that you want to start and finish each task. So have a timer, set a timer. I use the one on my stove, or you can have a little small handheld one, or use your phone, of course. Once you start an activity, focus on nothing else. Eliminate people and distractions from your environment. And number 8, once you completed the task, cross it out. Number 9, take a break between tasks to replenish cognitive resources. Make a daily habit of creating a mind map. I'll share one in a minute. Do the most unpleasant tasks first thing in the morning when you have more energy. I know I run out of night and I don't want to do anything difficult. And if you get stuck on your path, create a second path. I just want to share that we create in only 4 areas of our lives. I mean, you can break these down into minor areas, but there's really only 4 areas. And that's the mind, which is your thoughts, emotions, body, health and well-being, relationships. And I'll just share like a relationship in women, back pain is often associated with intimate relationship challenges. And I got this information from a renowned chiropractor. Anyhow, it's not the only cause, but it is, I think. And the 4th area of our life is our environment, includes career, our job, any creative endeavor, including creating money. But I will share that when you are too focused in just one area, so we have to have a balance. Every area affects every other one. And if you're too focused, like on your job, your relationships, or your health might relate to that. So which area of your life would you love to make some changes in? So I invite you to create a pen, get a pen and paper, maybe write down one thing in each area. It's still the beginning of the year. We can create intentions for something to propel it a year. And write down how you want to feel. So maybe write down 1 or 2 steps that you can do. I would say 2 steps or 1 step, like I added 1 thing to my body challenge this year, my body health. I added celery juicing. I decided to not do it every day. I did start, but I'm modifying it as I go along, but yeah, I still do it and it's awesome. And how do you want to feel? So I will just share how it allows me to feel. I say I feel vibrant, healthy, flexible, full of energy. I am ageless, forever regenerating. And I do other things like keto fasting, yoga, walking. I told you the nitric oxide dump, and I love connecting with nature. So for my mind, what might you want to do for your mind? You might want to meditate, or I focus on meditating on my possibilities and reflecting. I say my thoughts, actions, vision are in harmony. I am exuding the emotions of joy and gratitude, etc., etc. So I am expanding unlimited potential. So I just hope I've sparked your interest in this process, and to reach your goals faster, I just wanted to share that I'm available for conversation. Some things that I work on are on the screen. So teaming up with a powerful supporter or coach or mastermind, Colleen knows about this, is a way to support you and your vision. So I will, yeah, my website is there on the screen. I can put it in the chat. Does anyone have any questions? See how much time.
Can you go back to that screen that you had where you were, do you have that link that you can drop?
Sure,
That link in the I'd like to put it on the Facebook page as well that we're live in right now in the group, the Leap for Ladies group. So if you could give me that link, I'll drop it in there as well. And then I'd love for you to, that Miracles and Wellness link.
Yeah, sure.
With Agnes, and then the free consult, give me those 2. And then I would also would love to see that one slide that you had that had the body and the other one, and have a couple people unmute and see what they were going to add in those buckets. So if you could slide back to that previous slide that you had, the 4 quadrants.
Okay, let me see.
You can just go back, I think, a couple
I lost
slides.
it. Let's see how, stop.
Because you're still sharing. So
yeah.
I just wanted to be able to look at that and see, because I was going through it thinking of what I could change in those buckets, and I wanted to see what some of the other ladies. So I'm happy to lead that discussion while
This
you're
one?
while you're dropping your links. So if you want to drop your links.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, Marie, question, Whitney, Lynette. So for your mind, what is one thing that you guys feel like you can change or modify or add this year, or would love to have? For me, when I was looking at it, I always want to have an abundance mindset about money. You know how sometimes throughout the year you get a little frustrated sometimes, or you think, when it comes to money or a big investment or a big bill or whatever it is, and then sometimes we switch our mindset a little bit. So for me, I would just love for it to be on like autopilot all the time like that. You know what I mean? Can you go back to sharing so we can see that screen?
I was trying to put the thing in the chat.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I don't know how to.
What about you, Whitney and Marie? Go ahead, Marie. You're off mute.
I'm with you about I would like it to be more innate, more not intuitive, that's not the word, visceral. That's the
Okay.
word I'm looking for. I would like for it to be just like you, more visceral, where when those things happen, my first reaction is not, even if it's for 5 seconds, right? For us to say, oh, and I don't say the words, I can't afford that. I don't say I
Right.
don't have money, but that would be the first reaction until I go, wait a minute, we don't talk like that. And then reprogram it. But I would like the reprogramming to be the visceral muscle memory initial response that I have. I would love to get to
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah, me too. I love it. What about you, Whitney? Agnes, you're sharing your screen. I just wanted you to know.
Ah, yes, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No, you're getting back to the slide. Okay.
Well, the things in the mind category, I'm always doing all of those things.
Yeah.
For sure. The body stuff, yeah, I'm always stretching and posturing. I feel like, we're always spinning a lot of plates, our relationship, our friendships, our social life, our business, our networking, and so I feel like I have like a massive plate that is not that I'm really focused on, like the burning building, which is really just like growing my business and focusing on that. So but yeah, I know that I can't let the other things slide, but a lot of it is like it's already in my conscious awareness. But I'd love to
Right.
look back at it. Can you go back to that? I'll see if there's
Yeah, that slide. Agnes, can you go back to that slide? I'm going to drop this
oh
stuff
yeah.
in the comment here so we have
Okay,
it.
well, I'll send you the link to drop. I was trying to copy and paste. I didn't have the exact one. Well, I'll just say, Colleen, for one thing that I've learned from Higher Brain Living is that the programming, if you want to program positive, and I do say things about money every day, more prosperity is one I
Mhm.
got from Mind Valley. More prosperity and wealth are available to me today than I have ever imagined. I welcome and I'm worthy of this. Or,
Yes.
there's another one that I say too, but it's constantly saying it in your mind so that your mind has, only that option in front of it. And it's not like you can say it only, at least once a day. I recommend twice a day that, to say these positive things that you want to believe. It's like looking in the mirror and saying, I love myself. The more often you do it, the more easier it is to accept, I think.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I do them every morning for sure. And I have declarations that I write down. I have gratitudes that I write down about money. I mean, they're all over the place. I was just saying that I wanted to never have any of the other thoughts. Like, even though I do the work every day, sometimes they creep in. That was all I was saying. But
Well, that's
yeah,
part of being human.
yeah,
Yes,
that's true.
yeah. We can't deny that those things might creep in or we
Yeah.
might get triggered. The point is that we don't focus there or we don't live there.
Right. Yeah, totally agree. And then the next, what about body, environment, or relationships? Either one of you want to share in there? Come on, don't be shy. I would say I've had some muscle pain like in my body. And I've been working on those and with habits of things that I've been doing on a regular basis, just repeated habits, and it's really helped me a lot. So that's something I've been working on. And then environment is getting out more in person because we do so much online. So getting out more in person to do that. What about you guys? And of course, more sex is always great. I'm not going to lie. I'm married, so more sex is always great.
I have a nurse practitioner I know that does peptides for that, by the way.
Nice.
I think for body, if I was going to choose something for improvement, I would like to get back to hiking on a more regular basis.
Love it.
Yeah, I used to hike a lot and I've gotten away from that and I really miss it. And then for environment, I mean, can you ever have too much money?
No,
No.
No, never actually.
No. And I'm learning as far as 18 clubs, teams, and organization.
I
I
love
am
that.
learning how to balance clubs, teams, and organization with working my business and getting everything covered, like taking care of my client needs and my own needs, working in and on my business, balancing that with clubs, teams, and organizations, because you could do too much.
Yeah.
I find that I spend time going, no, it's okay. I don't need to go do that. No, it's okay. I don't need to drive across town for an hour to be in an hour of networking. No, it's okay, Marie. You're going to be all right if you don't do that.
Okay, right. So I have one tonight that you're talking me out of, that I've been trying to talk myself into, that I have to get changed. I have to drive 45 minutes, but they're talking about grants and all of this stuff. So I actually invited a friend who's looking for grants, but she has a date tonight and can't go. So I'm like, do I really need to go? Because I don't really need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there's this, then there's a community one that's right here that's like 10 minutes from my house, of all the people I used to go to leadership with that are gathering. I'm like, I'd way rather do that, because then I could touch back and, with, and maybe I should, you guys, now that we're talking about that, maybe that is exactly what I should do. I'm going to, hold on for a second. I'm going to stop recording and stop going live.